Good morning, students. So today we will continue with the ongoing topic coordinate system. Okay. See, this I think I have completed in the last class. 13th point, that is area of the triangle. When first point is when origin is one of the vertices. If origin is one of the vertices, other two vertices are x1, y1, x2, y2. So the formula is given by this one, half into determinant of x1, y1, x2, y2. Similarly, when origin is not there as a vertex, by x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3 are three vertices, then I have given three different formulas. And similarly, for a quadrilateral also at the end, I have given a formula for area of a quadrilateral also. Okay, let us do some examples on this now. Before doing the examples, so I have to explain how to expand a 3 by 3 determinant. I think I have already explained 2 by 2 determinant in quadratic equations, but anyhow, number one, 2 by 2 determinant. 2 by 2 determinant is like this. Okay. 2 rows and 2 columns, A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D are any real numbers. Then its value is AD minus BC. AD, this diagonal positive, but this diagonal negative, minus BC. For example, what is the value of this determinant? 3, 1, 2, 4. 3 into 4 minus 2 into 1. As 3 into 4 minus 2 into 1, 12 minus 2, 10. That is the value of the determinant. That is how to expand a 2 by 2 determinant, which you already know. Now let us come to this main important point, 3 by 3 determinant. Means here 3 rows, A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3 are there. 3 rows and 3 columns. So that is called 3 by 3 determinant. How to expand it? How to find its value? So take the first row elements first. A1, B1, C1. So I have written A1, next minus B1, next C1. Okay, you have to take with alternate signs. A1 you have to take with positive sign, B1 with opposite sign. If it is 5, you have to put minus 5. If B1 is 5, you have to put here minus 5. If B1 is minus 5, then you have to put here plus 5. Opposite sign, that's all. So next to C1. Okay, middle one, you have to just change the sign. And then with A1, you have to multiply its minor. Means what? Minor means what? I will explain. A1 is in which column? First column. A1 is in which row? First row. So remove the first row and first column also. Which 4 elements are remaining? B2, C2, B3, C3 are remaining. So you have to take that 2 by 2 determinant. Understood? Minus B1 into B1 minus B1 into B1's minor. Minor means what? B1 is in which column? Second column. B1 is in which row? First row. So remove the first row and second column. Which 4 elements are remaining? A2, C2, A3, C3. That 2 by 2 determinant you have to take. Plus similarly for the last element C1 also. C1 is in which column? Third column. C1 is in which row? First row. So remove the first row and third column also. What are the elements remaining? A2, B2, A3, B3. That 2 by 2 determinant you have to take. Then afterwards you know how to expand the 2 by 2 determinant. So A1 into what is the expansion of this 2 by 2 determinant? B2, C3 minus B3, C2. Similarly here A2, C3 minus A3, C2. Similarly here A2, B3 minus A3, B2. And then further you can expand and find its value. So I have given a numerical example here. Find the value of this determinant. So first row elements are what? 2, 5, minus 3. I have taken 2 here. Then middle element I have to change sign. I have taken minus 5. Then last element as it is I have to take whatever it is there. I have to take just only for the middle element I have to just change the sign. Okay. Next for 2 into what? 2 into 2 leave the first column and first row. What are the 4 elements remaining? 1, 6, 2, 7. Similarly minus 5 you leave the second column and first row. Remaining elements 4, 6, 3, 7. Similarly for minus 3 you have to remove third column and first row. Remaining 4 elements 4, 1, 3, 2. Then you expand it. 2 into what? 7 minus 12. 7 minus 12. Okay. Minus 5 into 28 minus 18. Okay. Next minus 3 into 8 minus 3. So afterwards you can just simplify this. You will get some value where it may be positive value or negative value. So in this case we got minus 75. Okay. So let us do some examples on the area formulas. Find the area of the triangle where area of the triangle OAB where O is origin A 3 5 B 7 minus 2. When origin is one of the vertices, then there is an easy formula. Area of triangle OAB is half into x1 y1 x2 y2. That's all. First point, second point. First point 3 5. Okay, 3 5 here. Then second point 7 minus 2. So expand the half into 3 into minus 2. 3 into minus 2 minus 7 into 5. Okay. So half into mod of minus 6 minus 35, that is minus 41. But mod of minus 41 is 41. So 41 by 2 square units. Next find the area of the triangle ABC where A, B, C are given. So let us use the first method ABC half into. So first point vertically we have to write 1 2. Second point 2 1 vertically. Third point 5 minus 3 vertically. Again we have to repeat the first point 1 2. Then expand. 1 minus 4. Okay here. Next what? Minus 6 minus 5. Next 10 plus 3. So afterwards you can simplify. Minus 10 plus 10 get cancelled. So 1 plus 3, 4 minus 5 minus 1, but mod of minus 1 is 1. So half into 1, so 1 by 2 square unit. So second method, aliter means second method, alternative method, area of triangle ABC. So area of triangle ABC using the 3 by 3 determinant is what? Half into determinant of x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, x3, y3, 1. So points are 1 2, so 1 2 1, next to 2 1, 2 1 1, next to third row 5 minus 3 1. Okay. So then half into, how to expand the 3 by 3 determinant? First row elements, I will take first row 1 and its minor is what? Leaving the first column and first row 1 1 minus 3 1. Okay, that 2 by 2 determinant. Next to second element I have to take minus, is it not? Minus 2 into leaving the second column and first row you will get 2 1 5 1 remaining elements plus last element positive only plus 1 into leaving the third column and first row you will get 2 1 5 minus 3. So then you can expand. So in the modulus you are getting a minus 1 value. So mod of minus 1 is 1. So 1 by 2 square units. So that is how to use the 3 by 3 determinant. Okay. Next, find the area of the quadrilateral ABCD. Of course, the 4 points ABCD are given. So x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, x4, y4. So first method is half into first point vertically you have to write, second point, third point, fourth point, again first point. First point you have to repeat at the end. Then expand. 3 into 7, 21. Minus of minus 8 plus 8. So like that you can expand. So you will get half into finally mod of minus 32. Mod of minus 32 is 32. So 16 square units. The second method is very easy. Using the diagonals. Half into, if ABCD are consecutive vertices of a quadrilateral, what are the diagonals? diagonal is AC and other diagonal is BD. So for diagonal AC, half into x1 minus x3, y1 minus y3. For the diagonal BD, x2 minus x4, y2 minus y4. So put the values there. So you can easily calculate. I think this method is easier compared with the first method. So you will get the same answer. Okay, next 14th point. So in this there are 2 points. First point is cosine rule. So here I have drawn a diagram ABC. So ABC capital letters are denote the vertices. So to the vertex capital A, the opposite side is denoted by the small letter, corresponding small letter A. To the vertex B, the opposite side is denoted by the corresponding small letter B. Similarly, for the vertex C, opposite side is small c. So that is the notation we follow. So how to find the cos of the angles? Cos A, cos of this angle. Cos of this angle is this square plus this square minus this square. B square plus C square minus A square by 2 into this into this. So that is the formula. Similarly, you can write the other formulas for cos B and cos C also. Okay, so same manner you can write. So for example, let us consider this triangle. 2, 3, 4 are the sides. I want to find cos A. So what is the formula? Cos A. Cos A, 2 square plus 3 square minus 4 square. So 2 square plus 3 square minus 4 square by 2 into what? This 2 into 3. 2 into 2 into 3. Okay. So you can easily calculate it is minus 1 by 4. Cos of an angle is a negative. Is it not? Cos of this angle is negative implies what? It is an obtuse angle. It is more than 90 degrees. If cos A is positive, then it is an acute angle. Cos A is a negative, it is an obtuse angle. Cos A is 0, then it is a right angle. Okay. Let us see the next point, Apollonius theorem. Apollonius theorem is the theorem just derived by the previous cosine rule. So see, here I have drawn the diagram. ABC is a triangle. D is the midpoint of the side BC, suppose. So here I have written D is the midpoint of side BC. Then join AD. Then AD you call it median, is it not? Joining a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side, that line segment is called a median. Then according to this theorem, AB square plus AC square. AB square plus AC square is equal to 2 times AD square plus BD square. In place of BD, you can write DC also, because D is the midpoint of BC, therefore BD and DC are equal. So you can write BD or DC. So this theorem can be easily proved by using the previous cosine rule. Suppose this angle is theta. This angle I have shown here is theta. Then the other angle, other side should be 180 minus theta, because BDC is a straight line. Okay, 180 minus theta. Now consider the triangle ABD. ABD triangle, you please see in the diagram, triangle ABD. In that, calculate cos theta, cos of this angle. According to the cosine rule, what is the value of cos theta? AD square plus BD square minus AB square. Minus, you will get theta opposite side, you will get minus sign. Okay, minus AB square by 2 into AD into BD. That is cosine rule. Now cross multiply. So AD square plus BD square minus AB square is equal to 2AD BD into cos theta. Now take the other triangle ACD. See in the diagram ACD triangle, you take it and calculate cos 180 minus theta, cos of this angle. It is equal to AD square plus DC square, okay, minus AC square, because the opposite side of 180 minus theta is AC. You will get minus sign for that, minus AC square by 2AD into DC. 2AD into DC. Okay. So now cross multiply. AD square plus DC square minus AC square is equal to 2AD into DC into cos 180 minus theta. So now take these two equations, first equation and second equation, and add them. So I have shown the plus sign here. I am adding them. What happens on the right side is, see, I have shown equality sign vertically. That what I mean is BD is equal to DC. From the diagram it is very clear. D is the midpoint of BC, BD is equal to DC. So BD is equal to DC. So 2AD same, BD and DC are equal. What is cos 180 minus theta? Minus cos theta. So everything is same except this factor is cos theta. Same factor here is minus cos theta. Therefore, if you add them, you will get right hand side 0. What is on the left hand side? Let us see. AD square, 2 times AD square. And you know that BD and DC are equal because D is the midpoint. So 2 times BD square I can say. Okay. Minus AB square minus AC square. Right side it is 0. Now take these negative terms to the other side. You can prove the formula easily. AB square plus AC square is equal to 2 into AD square plus BD square. So this is what is called Apollonius theorem. Okay. Next, let us see what is on the next page. Nature of a triangle. Suppose the coordinates of the vertices ABC of a triangle are given. Okay. The 3 vertices coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate given. And we have to find the nature of the triangle, whether it is a scalene triangle or equilateral triangle or isosceles triangle or acute angle triangle or obtuse angle triangle or right angle triangle. So how to find? First find the side lengths AB, BC, CA using the distance formula. Okay. Now, suppose first case, if AB, BC, CA are all different, if all the sides are different, then we can we call it a scalene triangle, is it not? Scalene triangle. Second case, suppose if all the 3 sides are equal, if AB, BC, CA are equal, then it is called an equilateral triangle. Similarly, if any 2 sides are equal, out of the 3 sides, if any 2 sides are equal and the third side is different, then it is called what? An isosceles triangle. It is called an isosceles triangle. So that is how you find whether it is a scalene triangle or equilateral triangle or isosceles triangle. And then there are other types of triangles also. Acute angle triangle, obtuse angle triangle, right angle triangle. How do you find them? So first find the side lengths AB, BC, CA. Find the largest side first. Out you have calculated AB, BC, CA, is it not? Out of them, which side is the largest? You can easily decide. Suppose the largest side is BC. I have drawn a diagram here, triangle ABC. Suppose the side BC is the largest side. Then find the cosine of the angle opposite to the largest side. So BC is the largest side. What is the opposite angle? A. You know that the largest angle lies opposite to the largest side. So if it is a right angle triangle or an obtuse angle triangle, there will be only one right angle in the triangle or there will be only one obtuse angle. That right angle or obtuse angle should be opposite to the largest side. So therefore find the largest side and for the angle opposite to the largest side find cos A using the cosine rule. So here suppose in this example we are supposing that side BC is the largest side. What is the angle opposite to it? Angle A is the opposite angle. So find cos A. Cos A in the diagram is what? AB square plus AC square minus opposite side square BC square by 2AB into AC. So find cos A. So if this value is negative, cos A is negative, then it is very clear that angle A is obtuse and therefore the triangle is obtuse angle. If it is positive, then it implies that angle A is acute angle and the greatest angle itself is, largest angle itself is acute, means other two angles are also acute angles, therefore it must be an acute angle triangle. Suppose cos A is 0. Cos A is 0 definitely means that A is pi by 2 radians, that is 90 degrees, so it is a right angle triangle. Then what happens if cos A is 0? Here in this formula, see, in this formula, if cos A is 0, what happens? The numerator is 0. Is it not? So AB square plus AC square minus BC square 0 means AB square plus AC square is equal to BC square. So it is nothing but the Pythagoras theorem. Okay. So that is how to find whether a triangle is acute angled or obtuse angled or right angled. Okay, let us see one example on this. Find the nature of the triangle with vertices A, B, C are given. Vertices are given. So first we have to find the side lengths, is it not? So first let us find AB square. AB square is x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. So that is 20. Similarly BC square also you find for these 2 points, you will get 26. What about CA square, first point and third point? So it is 74. Okay. So which is the largest side? AB is root 20. AB square is 20, therefore AB is root 20. BC is root 26. CA is root 74. Which is the largest side? CA is clearly the largest side. So all sides are different. You can see that all sides are different. Therefore it is, first of all, it is a scalene triangle. Which is the largest side? CA is the largest side. So see the diagram. ABC I have drawn. CA is the largest side. So this side is largest side. Is it not? CA is the largest side. What is the opposite angle? So opposite angle is B. So therefore we have to find cos B. What is cos B? AB square plus BC square minus opposite square AC square divided by 2AB into BC. So in this we need not calculate the denominator. Denominator is anyhow positive. So it is enough if you calculate the numerator. AB square 20. Already we have calculated. BC square is how much? 26. Okay, put it here. Minus AC square or CA square is what? 74. Denominator is 2 into root 20 into root 26. That we are not bothered about because we are interested whether it is positive or negative only, not the exact value. Okay. So it is clearly negative. So 20 plus 26, 46 minus 74 is clearly negative. That is what we want. Whether it is positive or negative only we want, but not the exact value. So negative. So that means B is what? Obtuse angle. B is obtuse angle. Cos B is negative means B is obtuse angle. So it is an obtuse angled triangle and it is a scalene triangle also. So let us see the next one. Collinearity. What is meant by collinearity? If 3 points are lying in a straight line, then we say that they are collinear. So line, see the spelling here, line is there, L-I-N-E, line. So collinear means they are lying in a straight line. So how to find whether any 2 points will be always on a straight line? Is it not? Joining any 2 points, there will be always a straight line. So given 3 points, they may be on a straight line, they may not be on a straight line. If they are not on a straight line, then they will form a triangle. Is it not? They will be the vertices of a triangle. So here the question is, how to find whether 3 given points ABC are collinear or not? 3 points coordinates x, A is x1 y1, B x2 y2, C x3 y3. 3 points are given. The question is to find whether they are on a straight line or forming the vertices of a triangle. That is the question. So there are 3 different methods. First, find AB, BC, CA. The distances you can find. Suppose 3 points are collinear like this. A here, C here, B here. Then clearly the distance AC plus the distance CB will be equal to the distance AB. Is it not? So that is one test. So find the distances AB, BC, CA. If AB is equal to BC plus CA, or BC is equal to AB plus CA, or CA is equal to AB plus BC, then it implies that the 3 points are collinear. Suppose none of them is satisfied. First one is not true, second one is not true, third one is also not true. Then it implies that they are not collinear. So suppose the first one is true, which point is in between? AB is equal to BC plus CA. BC plus CA, what is the common point? C. So C must be the middle point, like this diagram shown here. Suppose the second case is true, BC is equal to AB plus CA. Which point is in between? Common point here. AB and CA, what is the common point? A. So A is in the middle, B and C are at the ends. Similarly, if this condition is satisfied, B is in the middle and C and A are at the ends. Okay. Second method, that is the first method. So second method, just find the area of the triangle ABC. If you know the vertices of a triangle, there is a formula for finding the area of the triangle. We have seen just now some examples also. So using that formula, find the area of the triangle. If it is 0, if the area of the triangle is 0, then that implies that they are collinear. Because 3 collinear points as shown in this diagram, so they will not form a triangle, therefore the area will be 0, is it not? So if the area is 0, it implies that they are collinear. Otherwise, if the area is not 0, it implies that they are non-collinear. So that is the second method. So let us see the third method. Find the ratio in which A divides BC. This formula I have already explained. How to find the ratio in which the vertex A divides BC? A we have to place in between B and C. You have to, that means you will get BAC. Read from left to right, BA by AC. So that is what is called the ratio in which A divides BC, BA by AC. So BA by AC, you know that it can be calculated by 2 different formulas. You can use the x coordinates or you can use the y coordinates also. So using the x coordinates you find the ratio. Using the y coordinates also you find the ratio. If the 2 ratios are equal, then it means that they are collinear. Using x coordinates and also y coordinates separately you find them. If the 2 ratios are equal, then it means that the points are collinear. If they are different, using x coordinates you get one ratio, using y coordinates you get another ratio, then it implies that they are non-collinear. So these are the 3 methods to find whether 3 given points are collinear or not. Now let us see the next point, centroid. Centroid. So I have shown the diagram here. The medians of a triangle are concurrent at a point called the centroid of the triangle. See, A, B, C are the vertices of the triangle. See the diagram here. See, A, B, C are the vertices of a triangle. D is the midpoint of side BC. E is the midpoint of side AC. And F is the midpoint of side AB. Then AD, BE, CF are called what? They are called medians of the triangle. The line segment joining any vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side is called a median of the triangle. So there are three medians for the triangle. These three medians are concurrent at a point. They will meet at a point. That point is called the centroid of the triangle. And another important point is centroid is always denoted by the symbol G, because it is the center of gravity also for the triangle. So it is denoted by the symbol G. Centroid G divides every median in the ratio 2:1 as shown in the diagram. See, AD is median. See the diagram, AD is the median. So AG is to GD is equal to 2:1. So vertex side more, midpoint side less. Okay, that you should remember. Similarly, for BE, BG is 2, GE is 1. That ratio. Similarly, for the median CF, CG will be 2 and GF will be 1. So, next. Suppose ABC are given x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3 are the vertices. Then what are the coordinates of the centroid? Centroid is given by this formula a plus b plus c by 3. A plus b plus c by 3 means x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3 comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So that in shortcut we denote by the symbol a plus b plus c by 3. So this is a very simple formula for the centroid, is it not? So then, see, this is very useful. G is equal to a plus b plus c by 3. So cross multiply, you get 3g is equal to a plus b plus c. Therefore c is equal to what? 3g minus of a plus b. Similarly, b is equal to what? 3g minus a plus c. Similarly, a is equal to 3g minus b plus c. So I have taken an example here using this formula. Suppose for a triangle, two vertices and centroid are given. How to find the third vertex? A 2 5, P minus 1 3 are two vertices of triangle ABC whose centroid is given. Whose centroid G is 4, 1. Find the remaining vertex C. So you can use this formula. C is equal to what? C is equal to 3G minus A plus B. Multiply the centroid by G minus subtract the minus means subtract the sum of the given two vertices. Then you will get the third vertex. So in this case 3 into G is what? 4 1. 3 into 4 1 minus A plus B means 2 5 plus minus 1 3. Okay, in the bracket. So 3 into 4 1 means 12 3. You have to multiply both the coordinates by 3. So 12 3. Next, what is the sum of these two ordered pairs? 2 plus minus 1 1. 5 plus 3 8. So 1 8. So that is minus sign is there in between. So what is 12 minus 1? 11. 3 minus 8 minus 5. So therefore the remaining vertex must be 11 minus 5. Okay. Let us see the next one. Area of triangle GAB. Area of triangle GAB. The previous diagram. G is the centroid, is it not? So this triangle, GAB triangle, GBC triangle, GCA triangle, is it not? They are all equal in area. So that is this point here. Area of the triangle GAB is equal to area of the triangle GBC is equal to area of the triangle GCA, which will be equal to 1/3 of the total area of the triangle ABC. And centroid is the only point inside the triangle ABC having this property. There is no other point inside the triangle which divides the area into three equal parts. Only centroid has this property. And so there is one more point here. Suppose P is the midpoint of AB. I have shown a diagram here. P is the midpoint of AB. So then in shortcut, what is the formula for midpoint? X1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So in shortcut we can put it in this form. P is equal to a plus b by 2. Cross multiply. 2p is equal to a plus b. So a is equal to 2p minus b. A is equal to 2p minus b. Similarly, b is equal to what? 2p minus a. So multiply the midpoint by 2 and subtract one end, you will get the other end of the line segment. A and b are endpoints of the line segment. P is the midpoint. P and A are given. To find B, what you have to do? Multiply the midpoint by 2 and subtract one end. You get the other end. So here there is an example. P 3, 4 is the midpoint of AB. Where A is given, find B. So the formula for B is 2 into midpoint minus the given point. So 2 into midpoint is 3, 4 minus 5, 2. 2 into 3, 4 is 6, 8 minus 5, 2. So you will get 1, 6. So B must be 1, 6. Okay, students, we will stop here. We will continue in the next class. We will meet in the next class. Okay.